What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and this video, I want to give you guys my impressions of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 after just a measly 10 or so hours. Now, I know to some out there, they're pushing 30, they're pushing 40 hours in this gem, and I'm going to get there. I just wanted to make a video, kind of the early thoughts so far, and may I just say, they knocked this thing out of the freaking park. This should be pretty easy, actually, this video, because they kind of just have done everything that you would want them to do. There's a few things here and there that honestly feel like just kind of quality of life type updates. I don't really have any really big gripes and like massive overhauls I would do. Let me just kind of say though, one or two things just off the top of my head. I think the way that you kind of go from the menu to the map is one thing I would kind of like change. I don't know if it's because I'm doing it on a controller. They actually gave me a code for this game, so I appreciate that. I'm playing on Xbox, okay? So I have that controller. Maybe there's something going on between that and keyboard and mouse might not have an issue, but I'm basically talking about when you pull it up and you say, okay, I want to look at the quest, I'm going to look at the map to kind of see. Not everything is marked and not everything is permanent, so there'll be some side activities or side quests that'll be like letters like HIJK, something like that, and they won't appear on the map until you hover over them on the listing of the missions, and you kind of have to use the left analog stick to almost divide your screen in half, and you have to push left or push right to reveal like the rest of the screen. Same thing for like skill points and stuff. The skills themselves, like what they do, you have to push like far right for the far right almost tab to kind of open up and fill your screen. Basically, there's a lot of information going on in this game, and I just feel like they haven't it perfectly. They've done a pretty good job, but to do it perfectly, they haven't put everything on the screen the most digestible way possible. They did it pretty good. You can digest it all, and I think without like choking or dying, but I think there's maybe just a little bit better they could have done there. Everything else, I think, is just spectacular. I mean, the way they do the opening hours, the way that they do kind of introducing the tutorial stuff with you or to you through just the story, having these opening hours be some incredibly meaty content and huge story ramifications, huge character ramifications, but then doing it while also kind of teaching you everything and then doing the thing that you kind of expect of this game that I just feel like is honestly, again, done perfectly. They say, okay, you're off. They do not handhold you. I mean, is there a little bit of direction? Yes, there's a little bit of direction, but to be honest with you, okay, I think I'm a little bit more than 10 hours. Let me amend that past statement, maybe like 11 or so. I'll just add like one or two, at this point. But no, I mean, I've done so much stuff while also feeling like I've done nothing. Does that make sense? Like I haven't done the first main quest after they let you loose. When they let you loose and they say, okay, here's like 2, 3, 4 things to do, but you can kind of just go off, right? Like you're in a town, small town. There's other towns you can go to. Just start. You don't have any money. You might have some armor and some like things with you, depending on how you handled those first couple hours and how you kind of managed things. I had a little bit to my name, not in terms of money, but in terms of like material stuff. And they just tell you, just go and do literally whatever you want. And that's where, I don't even think I'm giving this game as much credit, even though I am giving it a lot. I think it deserves far more because I'm only playing it through one specific way, right? I'm trying to be the Henry that talks his way out of things. Now, I'm sucking at that, by the way. So many things that I do, skill checks, I fail all of them. I keep seeing, fail. Every now and then I'll get a succeed and I'll feel great about myself, but good thing I kind of prioritize speech and fighting, and those are like my two main things because I end up getting into fights more often because I can't talk myself out of situations. But basically what I'm saying is they let you go off. Everything just kind of opens up to you. And, I do think the game can be overwhelming if you're not like ready for it, because I want to say something along the lines of, it does it so well, and it's almost so welcoming how so like non-hand holding that it actually is. But I will say, okay, to be honest with you, if you're not ready for a game like this, I think you're going to be punished hard. I think you're going to get screwed. I think you're going to panic. You've got to be ready for a game that just doesn't really, it tells you everything without really telling you anything. You have to seek these things out. You almost just naturally unfold the story. You unfold quests, right? You'll walk up and you'll just almost without even thinking, just unveil, right? 3, 4, 5 side quests that you didn't have 30 seconds before. You'll have a new town and you'll start to almost do things by yourself. You'll get that travel network type thing going. You'll figure out, okay, I need to bulk up the armor just a little bit, right? You need to kind of plan where you're going to go day and night. How am I going to handle my food situation? How am I going to handle my sleeping situation? Are you going to pay for that? Are you going to just do kind of the freeway? Like, you got to be ready to do those things. And the game does do the best that it can, again, to kind of just let it happen, but let it happen so organically that it does happen and it does feel, well, organic. It does feel good. But again, I feel like if you're not ready for it, and I mean, I went back to replay the first game. I didn't understand that about the first game up until about this year. You know, I respected the first game, but I never really understood it. And I'm very glad I went back, because you kind of just get in the hang of how the game works, like how these quests open up and what you should prioritize and how the talking versus fighting versus this or that. I mean, and this game has even more depth to that, right? I actually got branded a thief. That whole thing that critics were saying months ago, where like if you steal something, even if nobody saw you, they'll eventually piece it together that it was you because you were kind of new to the town. That happened to me. So I wasn't like allowed in homes anymore in one specific town because I think I stole a loot for a side quest, right? A little instrument there, and nobody saw me. I did it in the dead of night, and then yet again the next day or 2 days after, actually, I was sleeping somewhere else for free, and then I woke up to being branded, a thief, and I wasn't allowed inside homes in the other town. And these are just kind of things that happen nonstop, right? Just small little altercations. You'll be walking in town, all of a sudden 2 people just start fighting each other. It might be a side quest that you'll kind of stumble into. It's insane. And this is all literally without doing any main quest. I have not done the first main quest. The most impactful thing I did was find Mutt, right? Find the dog. That's it. I've just done so much side stuff. I have a very strong shield now. I found that axe from the story, and that's a very strong axe. I've learned how to blacksmith. I've learned how to sharpen weapons. It's like I'm basically living a life in this game without actually even doing like the main. I don't even know what the main quest is, or I'm not even thinking about it. Thank God it's not timed, because I'm not even close to getting there. So the game just has so much depth. I mean, if there's one takeaway from this game or from this video, it's that this game has enormous high quality depth. The voice work, the voice acting, the motion capture, so unbelievably good. The atmosphere, I mean, I'm kind of saying it with all of these almost intricacies, right? But the game just feels real. It feels like the time period. It feels like the location of, setting, all that stuff. And it feels like you're in this very serious RPG where you can go down any kind of path you want and take Henry down the character path that you want, but it's going to respect that, right? It's going to follow your lead in that way, and it's unreal. It's unreal just how good this game is. So I expected a very, very good game. The reviews said it was a very, very good game, and I don't even know if it blew it out of the water, like my expectations, because this is kind of what I was expecting. And maybe that's a very high bar, but this game has so far hit it. It just feels real. It feels so engrossing, or whatever, all these kind of words that I don't even know what the meaning of half of them are. It just feels like you're in it. And those are my favorite kinds of RPGs, is games that feel like they're being lived in before you get there, after you get there, they're being lived in. That's what this game is. And I'm like, 1/10 of the way through, maybe even a little bit less, because I'm going slow. I'm going very slow, but I'm doing like every single thing I possibly can in this game. So there's my very short impressions so far, but once I beat this game in another month or so, I'll make more videos of this for sure. But you let me know what you think in the comments. Again, thank you to the developers for giving me a review code. Didn't help me, wasn't able to get a jump on this or anything. I think I got it the day the game came out. I'm still going slow, but I do appreciate the code. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one.